What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Ducati build series. Today I'm going to be installing the carbon fiber gas tank cover. So this covers the lower half of the tank that's exposed to the rear end, actually. So any rocks or road debris that flings up typically gets caught by the rear hugger, but there are those rare occasions where rocks fling up, chip the paint, and basically you've got this kind of exposed. So I bought a few parts that arrived today from Moto Million, one of which is that carbon fiber piece. This is from Fullsix. So basically this goes right underneath, and basically just some double-sided tape will get that stuck on there. So if you haven't noticed already, I've removed the remote adjuster and the rear bracket there. So also I've taken off the wire or the cover for the wire harness here, so I'll get that installed after we mount this cover. So I'll step you guys through the process from this point, and then we'll work backwards on the reinstall of these parts, and you can apply that to the removal if you're doing this same little project. So we're gonna get this surface area prepped. I'm gonna get some rubbing alcohol. I'm going to wipe down this surface, and then I'll wipe down the same on the back side of that carbon piece. Then I'll apply some double-sided tape, and we'll get that slipped in. So the reason why I took off the little harness cover here was for the clearance that I needed to slip that cover on, and it's really tight. I don't know if you can see that, but there it is. So there's just enough. There's going to be some room left, but I wanted to make sure I had the ability to slip this on without dragging it across one carbon piece to another. So, all right, hold tight. I'll get you guys mounted up on the tripod, and we'll go through the prep and the tape applying and the install. Hold tight.
By speculation, but the position that I got, I climbed too high to fall, way too hard to drop. Stop clock soon as being back. Every day under pressure, no jet lag. This is greater than trophies and salute flag. Titles of pain, the cost is paid. I carry the dealer. Baby, the hand was played.
All right, there you have it. Not much to it. Basically just press and stick on. I'll leave you guys set up, and we'll start going back in reverse to install the different parts that I pulled off the bike. But just to give you a look at the installed cover. All right, guys, so there you have it. We've got that back cover mounted. So mind you, this point of view right now is from like the rear sprocket looking upwards. If you are standing next to your bike, you're gonna see complete carbon on this rear end. You're not gonna see that red exposed line unless you turn your head upside down and look upwards. So really clean, sharp look on this back end with these carbon pieces. I do have one more item in the box, which will get mounted up on this video next. Oops. So as you can see, this is going to come over and mount up just like that. So we're going to pull off some of these screws. Basically mounts with 3 bolts. We'll get those backed out and get that mounted up. So I'll get you guys on a tripod. I won't walk you guys through. It's pretty straightforward. Take 3 bolts out and reinstall those back on. So let me get you on the tripod and we'll go ahead and button this back end back up. We'll start with the harness cover, and we'll tuck this wire harness back in, and then we'll go about reinstalling the remote adjuster and the bracket. Hang tight. Alright guys, we are reinstalled. I'm going to give this a final wipe down. Closer. So we've got the remote adjuster reinstalled. There's not a whole lot of clearance. You can see. There you have it, we're installed. Alright guys, let me get you set up on the side over here and we'll start the process of installing this cover plate. Alright guys, so I got you down here on the left hand side of the bike where we're going to install this carbon fiber, if I can get it out of the bag, cover like I showed you guys earlier. So what you're going to need on this install, you're going to need a T30. I've got it set up on my torque wrench already with the torque setting for these bolts, which is very low. I'll post those in the description. And then these bolts, if you saw my last video when we did the clutch cover, these bolts, when you take them out, these are Torx bolts. So once they've been tightened, it's always best to replace them with new bolts, because these bolts stretch when tightened, and when you pull them out, they're not as strong. So for the most part, they'd probably work, but I have some left over from the clutch cover, anticipating this install, and we're going to get those set up. So I'll back these bolts out. You're going to need to back out 3, like I said, which is 1, 2, and 3. And you guys can see. So we'll get those backed out. Let me get you set up on the tripod. Hold tight. Alright guys, so hopefully I'll try to stay out of your way. We'll start by backing these bolts out. All right, guys, so we're gonna go around and torque these bolts down. They don't take much, just like the clutch cover. If you remember the very low torque settings on these cover bolts here. So we got this installed. Let me pull you off the tripod, give you guys a little step away view.
They ain't never seen nothing like this before. Lit the room when I came through the front door. Ask me if I should overcome. What for? Train in the trees, please pardon my
I can't wait to get these fairings put on. Get these accent pieces all tied together with that Superleggera fairing kit that I've got. So I've got quite a few accent pieces on this bike. Hope you guys are enjoying this build series. Once again, the majority of these frame pieces I've bought off of Moto Million. All right, catch you on the next one. Stay tuned.